Or community, what's up? We're back here, Coach Tommy Palms, myself, Jason Lyden, and we are on the Conquer Athlete YouTube Coaches Chat. And on this short one, Tommy's going to talk to you guys about things you should be focusing on to do better in this upcoming year quarterfinal. Now, excuse my hair, my appearance. I'm at Power Monkey Camp, and did I tell you the story about my luggage, Tommy? My
Yes.
travel? Okay. Yeah, okay, I did tell you. So my luggage got caught. I got nothing here, but we're here. It's a YouTube talk. I'm not going to bore Tommy with this story again. Maybe it'd be a podcast story. Anyways, Tommy, here we go. We're back here. 2025. People are preparing for CrossFit. And we've chatted about this, and this is going to be something that we're going to talk about more in depth, but how the quarterfinals are the new open. And now, with that being said, what should people be really honing in on or doing, focusing on to put themselves in a better position to do better in this upcoming year CrossFit quarterfinal?
Yeah. So yeah, I agree. I think that the quarters is now kind of how we should view the old opens back in 17, 18, 19, 16, all those years, the golden era, in my opinion. Uh and that's kind of what I was anticipating. And so we have to kind of just look at it from that lens as to like what was tested in years past in the open and kind of look at how you would want to prepare for those years. And I don't think it's anything new that we're going to obviously talk about, but being able to move a moderately heavy barbell, potentially heavy-ish barbell, but not like necessarily maximal load. I even think Bosman came out and said that they will never do a one rep max in quarterfinals. I think he literally stated that. So we now know that we don't necessarily have to be prepared to be as strong as humanly possible for quarters. We're probably going to see those at higher stages like semifinals and games. But in order to create separation, there's going to have to be a heavy barbell, and you're just going to have to be able to move one. So this past year, I wouldn't call it super heavy, but it was heavy enough to create separation with clean and jerks at 245 and 165 for the ladies and guys. So being more prepared for that, especially as quarterfinals come. So in the beginning of the year, spend time building that strength, that base. And as we get closer to competition, maintain that strength while trying to improve your ability to move those higher percentages. That'd be my first tip.
I love it. Yeah. Now going off that, like Castro did not a big, but Castro's on his channel talking about why they didn't do a max ever lift. Pretty much it's coming about how it skews the data too much because you have people who he said aren't fit, but can move a lot of weight and crush it and push people out that are fitter who should be finishing in different positions.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Because when you have a scale that large of people that you're, testing, like it 100% allows for that to happen. And then, but once you get to that semifinals games level, you don't have as many people, so it becomes a better test, in my opinion, right?
Totally.
Yeah, so I agree with that, honestly, man. Like that's how I view CrossFit is, moving higher percentages, not one rep maxes anyway. So that's just me.
Right.
Um, that'd be my first tip. Tip two,
Beautiful.
looking at it from a gymnastics standpoint, I have two thoughts, but one of them is having the ability to do bigger sets at the end of a workout. So like that's the thought. And we had 20 ring muscle ups this year at the end of a workout. In past year's opens, actually not this past year, but the one before, we also had to do 20 ring muscle ups at the end of the chipper. So they like to do that style. We've had years in the open where you've had to do 50 strict handstand push-ups at the end of the workout. We see 55 kipping handstand workouts in the middle of a chipper, right? They like to put these big sets of gymnastics in there and create that separation by the ability of those to get through it. I don't think we're going to see a lot of like 10 rounds for time with 3 ring muscle ups, for example. We're going to make sure that the athletes have the ability to perform larger sets under fatigue. So I thought that was cool. And then also, what I thought was cool from this past year's, I don't know if this will be a theme, but like having to do all that upper body pulling and pushing before having to go do that large set. Like that was just a pure gymnastics test. Um, and so I don't know if that'll be a common theme, but it was certainly a cool one in my opinion.
I agree with that 100%. Yeah, that's a great point. Do you think that so obviously people then now for the upcoming year need to go through set progressions of building their capacity in CrossFit, but also look at it from a standpoint of, do I have the endurance slash capacity to hang on to big sets under extreme levels of complementary fatigue?
Yeah, that's something people that I'm definitely going to be thinking about with my athletes a lot from a skill progression standpoint and thinking about, complementary and then non-complementary fatigue, like doing pulling, and seeing like what happens to your muscle ups by the third movement of pulling in a row. If you completely break down, like that's a skill progression that we need to like work on and spend a lot of time there. And that point in the progression of a gymnastics movement or any skill is the one where people probably are going to get stuck at the most unless they're freaks, right? We know the freaks who can just flush somehow and magically go up there as if they're fresh. That's amazing, and those are the ones who usually flourish in the sport. But for the 99%, that's where most people get stuck, and we'll need to spend a lot of time to improve.
Love it. Do you have one more, or is that it?
I would say keep hammering the row. Like if you're not good at rowing, you can't go to the next level. Simply put. I mean, this year showed that in workout number whatever one. Like if you sucked at rowing, you were screwed. Even if you were good at the other two movements, like your score wasn't going to be good unless you could at least put up a pretty good number on the row. So hammer the row. Keep hammering the row. I believe running's important. I believe assault bike's important. I believe all of them are important, and they all have other components that they can improve in your game. But if you're not good at the row, it doesn't mean anything until you get to the semifinal level. So push the hell out of it this year.
I love it. So three sort of like, I'm gonna say unconventional, but I don't mean figuratively unconventional, but
Yeah.
ways to do better the open. Number one, focus on your ability to uh do high sets of gymnastics under extreme complementary fatigue and or just extreme fatigue. Uh be really efficient and good on the rower. And then the first one you said was just have good ability to cycle high percentage of your max for volume on a barbell, correct?
Always.
Yeah, as opposed to having a pure, like, amazing one rep max, have a good max, but make sure you
Yeah.
can cycle a high percentage of that weight.
And you
Four
know what,
reps.
too, just to go off on that, sorry to cut you off,
No.
but like, in years past, so many camps and everyone is thinking like, oh, your ability to hit a barbell one rep max under fatigue, like you better be good at that. You better be good at that. Like, I don't think you need to be good at that anymore, honestly, right now. I don't think that's going to be the way of testing. I could be wrong, but I think they just want to be able to see how you move a heavy barbell for reps.
I'll be very interested to see what they do from that component at semis in the games. Like
Hmm.
if they save it for semis in the games because the data can be refined better, or if they, yeah, very curious. But yeah, for the quarterfinals, I love these 3 points, Tommy. I think these are spot on, and they can provide a lot of value for everyone that listens and puts them into action. And if you guys don't know how to put them into action, shameless plug, make sure you hit up help@conquerathlete.com. If you're a competitive athlete out there and you're looking to really get better and improve yourself for this upcoming year across the game, hit us up at help@conquerathlete.com. We'll set you up with Coach Tommy. We'll get you guys all set to go to be the best competitors you can become. If you're looking to do a coaching mentorship, hit us up as well, help@conquerathlete.com, and we'll give you all the information about that. Tommy, any parting thoughts from this YouTube talk for everybody?
No, that's it. I like the direction the sport is going right now. I think the season is making a ton of sense from open to quarters. I'm interested to see what we'll see at semis. But so far I'm very happy with what the workouts look like and the stages, not necessarily the drama around repetitions and no reps,
Mm,
but just the overall picture so far, I believe has been very good for the sport.
I love it. Tommy, great points. We hope you guys enjoyed this Conquer Athlete YouTube talk. See you guys on the next one.